starting Vermillion, you're probably not going to have a canvas. You're going to stick your hand up, one appears. And then you can resize by grabbing the arrow and making whatever size painting you need. For this video, I'm just doing one about like that, and I'm going to go over brushes. Honestly, when I took painting class in college, we didn't use all these brushes. We only used like this one, and that one, and the knife. We didn't use all these other brushes. And really the only thing I ever use is the fan, the smooth flat. I started using this one recently, and I'll show you why. And I use that a lot too. Oh, this one is to prep our canvas. I'm going to explain some things later on with mixing. But for right now, I'm only going to make sure I get the whole left half, and then I'm going to do the other half in black. Okay. Now that I got that covered, I'll reset the whole palette, clean my brush, and now I will go over brushes. We have the filbert, which I've only ever used once since getting the program. It gives kind of a scratchy look to it. It's not one that I really like using. If you use your left and right on your joystick, you can swap them out for the rounded tip. I would really only use this one for texturing, like bushes and stuff, but it's not something I would sit and paint with. And you can actually do, it's supposed to be able to do different scales, but it's not scaling up. Yeah, it's supposed to become bigger. And then this, of course, is the famous 2-inch brush that you see in a lot of Bob Ross videos, which is good for putting on a lot of paint. And sometimes I use it to blend as well. And this one's good for doing a lot of, well, I just messed that up. That's why you always wipe off your brush. Wide scale didn't put enough paint on it. Okay. Wide scale brushes and trees and things like that. This one I've never used outside of the headset. I don't really like it in here as well. But you can also use this one. I don't see it being good for texturing. I mean, I guess you could. But yeah, I don't ever touch the oval brush. Blending brush. Makes it all smoothed out. Round brushes I use a lot. Oh, didn't clean it. Picked up the white. This is something I really like. I've never really used it for actual paintings, but it comes in handy here. If you're wanting to do like a single line, like a thin line, this is good for creating thin lines. Doing hair or blades of grass, or you know, the little crevice when you're doing the eye. It's good for eyes. That little crease right there. So yeah, this is good for stuff like that. And this is a color shaper as well. To shape the paint that's already on there. This is another dagger brush. Oh. Let's see. Actually, I think that was the same dagger brush I had earlier. Never mind. This is very good for those tight, small places. Details of the face. Noses and things like that. This is the one complaint I had about the program. Can't do the Bob Ross thing where you roll the paint on and then roll it back off. If you try that, that's what you get. It's just good for scraping on. Very handy for doing snow and like other grass textures. Love it. Also, I guess it would be good for water as well. If you make a mistake, you can take off a little bit, or you can dip it into your thinning liquid and then completely take it off, which sometimes it takes 2 rounds. And that is your brush options. You notice I did a white side and a black side. So we are going to go over mixing. We'll have to repaint some white on that. Let's get some more white back on there. Oh, there we go. Usually if you see a lot of Bob Ross videos, you will see that he will either put white down first or black down first. And from what I can tell using this video, this app, the paint smooths on easier if you put one down first. Let's go ahead and pick a brush. So I'm going to use this one. And we're just going to... Usually in painting, if it's watercolor... Oh, it's coming out muddy. That's okay. Usually in watercolor, you don't go dark to light, or you can't. You have to paint light and then add darkness to it. Actually, let me do that one. Alright. That goes on better. And let me tell you why this is a mistake for the first part. They have what they call muddied colors. When you put down a thick layer of paint, your next layer of paint has to be thick or thicker, or you'll get like a really nasty looking color. So this has to go on thick because the white is thick. That's why you have your thinning. So if you put white and black on, thin it, and then put it down. So let's say I have my dark color down, and I want to add some, see it starting to muddy up. I want to add some lighter green. See how it's got like a weird texture on it? That is on there pretty heavy. So you always want to go thin to thick and not thick to thin. We're going to have that. Maybe that. Whole lot of that. We're going to have this ugly color here. And what you end up doing is having really huge, thick globs. And you don't want that. And that goes the same for over here on the black. Yeah, use the... That brush doesn't blend like I want it. Go back to that one. Ah, yeah, that's much better. See, when you go to blend in the thick, you lose a lot of the lightness that you had. I just don't like adding thick paint like that. So to avoid having muddy paint, go light and then go thick. Black